it. Timmy.
Hey everyone, how you doing? Bruno here. Just thought I'd make a little video. I'm over on my Facebook page. And I just wanted to share a couple things with you. One is that, well, I didn't finish a comment somewhere. I got a comment down here from Mark. Maybe I should start this video. Okay, no. There, now I posted it. Okay. All right. You can tell I don't use Facebook much, can't you? Yeah, I wanted to tell Mark thanks. Okay. So I just hopped on my Facebook page here and I put a couple photos up. And then I got a comment from Mark. And thanks for following the videos, Mark. I appreciate it. I'm glad they're helpful and entertaining and enjoyable. Oh man, I listen to all your casts. Take your info for what it is, learn and try to incorporate it in my own philosophy, theology. Good. And that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that at least some of what I say is helpful to people. I don't expect anyone out there to follow me right down the line, you know. But hopefully there are gems to be gleaned from my videos. And I encourage people to build their own theology. And I was raised in churchendom, in orthodoxy, and I would suggest to you guys that the basic interpretation of churchendom is just wrong. And the Bible is about God, and it's about his axis mundi. It's not about churches of churchendom. And yeah, I would encourage you to really read the Bible, seeing what it's really about, and put your own theology together. And follow the Bible. You'll always be closer than the churchendom theories on what it means. One could say your podcasts are eisegesis. Would you make a video where you would address that topic? Greetings from the Netherlands. All right. I like the Netherlands. That's where Styx is at. So I pulled up a Merriam-Webster definition of eisegesis.
Eisegesis.
Okay, the interpretation of a text as of the Bible by reading into it one's own ideas. So, yeah, one could say your podcasts are eisegesis. They could. I'm sure they'll say that to me. I don't think so, though. I think really, I'm the one not doing that. For example, you have Genesis 1 and then Genesis 2. I suggest to people they are basically chronological, but that's my speculation on it. So it's a pre-Adamite exposition, you know. Is that eisegesis? I don't know. I could complain that people that try to conflate the two accounts are committing eisegesis. People that read Adam and Eve into chapter 1 are committing eisegesis. I mean, the word mankind is used, but if you find the man Adam in Genesis 1, that's really not legitimate. And that's something I said on another, let's see, I was, oh, I got dinged. Okay, I'll come back in a second, Mark. Let me see. In another video, look at this. I'm up to 33 subscribers, everyone. That's a lucky number, you know. In this video here, okay. In this why does this say 3 comments? Oh, I pinned 1, 2, 3, right, duh. Okay. So Derp Frog says, multiple Adam theory, no good. I didn't really mean to present a multiple Adam theory. I don't believe in multiple Adams. But I think what he was basically saying here, well, there was a point in this video where I was talking about Genesis 1, and then I was saying that in Genesis 1, it doesn't have to be a single pair. And then talking to Lane, I just skip right ahead. I said, but the woman then was created much later. And I was referring to Genesis 2. I kind of passed into the Genesis 2 account there without, it wasn't clear in the video, so I can see where the confusion occurred. And I'm really not the best teacher, folks. I'm just a researcher sharing some things I found. That's really what it comes down to. I would say it's one man in chapter 2. Yeah. In chapter 1, we're not necessarily looking at one man and one woman there. Verses 26 to 28 here. This is not necessarily a single pair being described. I know most people just read it that way, but you don't have to. Now, I would suggest maybe some eisegesis takes place here when people think a single pair is described. But, you know. So who's doing eisegesis here? I don't know. That's up to the individual. if one thinks this after hearing what I say and thinking about it, and they're like, no, I think it's eisegesis. If that's what someone thinks, that's fine. I don't care. I don't think I'm really committing that error. Another area where just get a drink here. Another area where I see this occurring is with the serpent. Now, people that are trying to find, well, look, when you try to find a devil, a Lucifer, a Satan in Genesis 3, I think you're committing eisegesis because I don't think it's there. Now, when people feel that the narrative is leading them to believe supernatural evil is somehow present in the garden, I can't fault them for feeling that way about the text, you know. But there's nothing in the text really that suggests there was anything other than the serpent involved here. And I know the ancient Jews had ways of seeing spiritual darkness involved. And of course, the early Christians had ways of seeing spiritual darkness involved in Genesis 3, in the fall, in the serpent. It's, you know, just an old sentiment that people hold, and I don't fault them for that, but who's really committing eisegesis there, you know? And when Cain is afraid what'll happen outside the Eretz, he has to leave Eretz Eden because he can't thrive there, right? But he's afraid what'll happen outside, and God puts a mark on him, and then stating a curse that he'll avenge sevenfold whoever slays Cain. Now, he's not saying that to Adam and Eve and the siblings, right? You see that? So who's really committing eisegesis to say, look, there's people outside, and Cain's afraid? And it's just ridiculous to think God is threatening Adam and Eve and the siblings, the other siblings here. It just can't be, you know? So I guess it depends on the verse. Maybe, Mark, if you have a certain instance in mind, a particular teaching I've presented. Oh, he's got Cartman on here. That's funny. I made a Cartman joke in one of the videos. Respect my authority. South Park is not typically watched by a Christian audience. What's going on here? Bruno, why do you know about South Park? Bruno, why do you show Eddie Murphy clips in your videos? Okay, so I threw a couple images up here though, guys, and I wanted to show you a couple things. So here, I've drawn this, and there's a lot of guesswork involved in the Tower of Babel, scattering of peoples, sometimes simple morphology of word similarity in language, in terms, sometimes simple similarity of the names of people groups is used to trace some of these. And how confident can we be in those? Well, some of these are more confident than others, and some people were not too sure who they became in time, you know. But I've kind of laid out where the different people groups landed after the Tower of Babel dispersion. And I just wanted to point something out real quick. Now, regardless of how accurate this may be, one thing that is certain is that we are to understand that it was Ham and his descendants who occupied, look where they are. Do you see where they are? See where they are through here? And then look, see how it extends down here? And it's Egypt. So they have Egypt and Canaan. You see that? Okay. This is where Ham and his descendants were following the Tower of Babel. Okay. That is part of a pattern. And I just bring this up because I put another picture up here. This map here shows Egyptian dominance prior to the conquest of Canaan. And what I want to point out is that Egypt controlled this area. You see that? Okay. This footprint here is essentially where Ham and his descendants were scattered following the Tower of Babel. When Moses and the Israelites left Egypt and entered into the wilderness wandering, okay, when they wanted to enter Canaan, this was still Egyptian controlled. And it mimics the situation following the tower. And the Hamitic stock was all through here. So there's just a pattern there between the Tower of Babel, okay, there's a pattern between the Tower of Babel and the conquest, the Egyptian dominance before the conquest. There's a parallel. So I just wanted to point that out. And something else I want to point out, this is another map I've used in some of my videos. And okay, when I was talking to Lane about possible sites for the ancient city of Enoch, I mentioned Sodom. And I didn't get into one of the reasons why that could be. And I wanted to share that with you guys because it might it might solidify the Sodom view a little bit. I'm not saying I go that way. I'm just saying there's some additional stuff here. So Lane had asked me in that video what did he say? Was Gomorrah near Sodom? And I was like, well, I don't know. You know, the truth is we're not too sure where those cities are. Now, we do know about Zoar, and there's cemeteries here from the 1st century or later. It's been a while since I looked into this, but there's cemeteries here from the ancient world, which indicates that the ancients believed this was Zoar, because there's like a cave dedicated to Lot and stuff like this. And so the ancients thought this was Zoar, and they would probably know, okay? If that's true, maybe the other cities were down in this southern region, although really I have a crazy motorcycle going up the street. Oh, I don't know if it's gonna come through on the video or what. I'll just keep going here though. What I was gonna say though is that in the Genesis narrative, I think they're at Shechem, or no, they're here, aren't they? When Lot departs. Or maybe they are up here. Anyway, they can look into the beautiful plain, and it's the word used for it is like Carico or something like that, and it means a circular plain, and it's believed that it's generally describing a region here as the plain. And I'll just see if I can look at it real quick. Where are we? Oh, okay. You see this is the ziggurat at Ur. Okay. See how the points aren't perfectly northeast, south, and west? See that? See that? Okay. Then when you're over, this is something I was looking at. This is kind of off topic. There goes that motorcycle. Oh, where's ancient? Okay, this footprint here is where Etemenenki was, which is the tower in Nebuchadnezzar's time. In shortly. Okay. Anyway, so you see how the points of this footprint are not northeast, southwest. They are in this cocked. They're pivoted somewhat. So that's something I need to look into. That's just something I need to look into. Here's Saddam Hussein's old palace there. Okay, so anyway, I got on here to show you the circular valley. And it's basically right in here. You can almost see it. So where were the cities of the plain? Oh, another thing. The Dead Sea level was lower. The Dead Sea level fluctuates. And it was lower in the time of Abraham than it is today, although it was higher in other times in the past. It's fluctuated over the centuries. And it's believed that Sodom could be under here. So Sodom, at the time the narrative was written, would have been a scorched spot on the earth here. And I suppose Gomorrah as well. But they're flooded over today. That's one theory of where they were. Other theories are they were up in here. Sodom meaning scorched. There's hot springs around here. Does it mean scorched because of the judgment that came upon it? Is it a nickname? Or was it named that because of hot springs? I don't know. I don't know. So that's, so anyway, what I was saying though, so the Kenites, see that? The Kenites. See how they occupy this region? Okay. There's something to know about them. Oh, let me see. I want to go here. Something you need to know about these guys is that they are in the Abrahamic covenant. Do you have any idea how important it is that they are enumerated in the Abrahamic covenant? This land is very important. So who are these people? The Kenites. These people this is only a possibility, okay? These people derive from Cain. This is Cain, Cain's descendants. There's Canaanite lineage in these people. Maybe, this is a maybe. Gesenius mentions this. Well, does he? Yeah. A Kenite. Well, Gesenius doesn't mention the connection, but so it is possible that the Kenites are a lineage of Cain. And the reason that's important is because you need to understand that if Cain left Eretz Eden, across the Jordan, and if he came down and founded Sodom, and let's say it was, I don't know, down here, then Noah's flood would have destroyed the Eretz Eden. would have destroyed the Edenic people, except for Noah and his descendants. But guess what? Cain and his descendants weren't killed, and they weren't in Eretz Eden, and they just weren't killed by the flood. And these Kenites still lived into the time of the conquest, you see. So it's possible that Sodom's down here, that Cain built Sodom. That's the Enoch connection. So this lineage, this Kenite people, is just something to take a look at. So there's just a few comments I had for you.